Does Luis Enrique have any shame? He apparently told Neymar that he wanted him to leave the club because his philosophy is about playing football in different ways, playing collectively, rewarding players who perform their best in training during that week, and basically called Neymar lazy and that there was no room for him at the club with his system. But does he have short term memory loss? Because in 2015, Neymar was a huge reason why he won his first Champions League. Literally scored in the final, had a great season, and was a huge reason for Barcelona having so much success that year in 2015. And now he switched up on him 100% to the point where Neymar ended up leaving. And he told Neymar to his face, I'm glad you're leaving. That is ungrateful right there. Who does Luis Enrique think he is? And you may be saying right now in the comments, oh, but Luis Enrique ended up winning, basically every trophy possible with PSG this past season except for the Club World Cup. He basically was right, Neymar was wrong. But the thing is, there's something called respect. Something called respect. Because I can guarantee you, Luis Enrique did not do this to Messi. Luis Enrique, probably didn't do it to Mbappe either. So, where does he get the balls to do this to Neymar? Because honestly, I don't like Neymar. I don't personally like Messi, but you still have to respect them. And this is as disrespectful as it gets. Because how are you gonna go to a legend of the game, one of the best talents we've ever seen, and Neymar? Tell him you don't want him at the club because there's no room for him, even though, he was, before that, the guy who was really putting PSG on the map. He, took them to the Champions League final, which they hadn't done before. He won them countless amount of league titles. He was still pretty successful if you really think about it at PSG. Not as successful enough for a Ballon d'Or, but he was very successful. You could even say more successful than any other player in PSG's history before last year, right behind Kylian Mbappé. So, Messi's a player that you could say the same things to, but I bet you did not say all that to. This is my point, because the whole thing is Neymar doesn't track back. But the problem with PSG when it was Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar up top was that nobody was tracking back. If you think Neymar was lazy, Messi was lazy, Mbappe was even lazy. So where does he come out and target Neymar and give him all of this, hate? Because it's absolutely unwarranted unless you gave it to the other two players as well. And I tell you this right now, PSG were begging Mbappe to stay. PSG with Messi, it was all respect. Oh, let's give him a pat on the back. We're gonna give him a little standing ovation for beating France in the World Cup final. That's the level that they were giving Messi praise. Messi didn't do anything for PSG, not a thing. And then you've got, Neymar over here actually won them significant amount of titles. And he's going to come out and say, I'm glad you're leaving. There's no respect there. And that's the thing about Luis Enrique. It's very hard to respect the manager that doesn't respect players that giving him success in the past. Because with Messi, there's a bias. I get it. There's going to be a world football bias. But with Neymar, there's no reason to treat him like this if you're going to be glorifying Messi and Mbappe when they both had the same amount of defensive work rates. That's just plain and simple. Luis Enrique is shameless, man. At the end of the day, people will remember Neymar in 10 years. They will not remember Luis Enrique in 10 years. I'll tell you that much. That is the cold truth right there. And it's absolutely shameless. If I'm a footballer right now playing with Luis Enrique, and let's say Luis Enrique for some reason isn't managing PSG, and then you go to another club, and then you end up with Luis Enrique again. Example, Dembele. There's no guarantee this man's going to respect you. Look at the way he's treating Neymar. Gives you a Champions League. Gives you a domestic treble in Spain. And then guess what? Goes to France. I'm glad you're leaving. I want you to leave. No room for you, mate. No room for you. Hey, with Messi, a round of applause for him for the World Cup. That's the difference right there with Luis Enrique. Unloyal and untrustworthy, mate. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Luis Enrique doing this to Neymar? But anyways, thank you guys for watching.